Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. This is going to be a discussion video for the new Foot Birthday promo that is going to be coming out. We're going to be checking out the teams that could be coming out for the regular players as well as the icon players, and checking out what they can look like in game, right? So guys, the first one is going to be the Pedri card. Apparently he's going to be released as an SBC. With a card like this, he's just going to be that type of player that is going to be used in a team where people will be using him in a way where it's like a 3 midfield setup and he's your attacking oriented center mid, right? When I say attacking oriented center mid, it can mean one of two ways, right? It can mean a card that has pace and defending, or a card that just has pace and then he has the other attacking attributes, right? Because if you're using a 4-3-2-1 and you're using that center mid area as a main attacker, a card like this will be perfectly fine in that position, right? But it is more ideal to use an actual attacker there. If he gets an SBC, which obviously looks like it's going to be the case, on a Shadow Chemistry style, the card is pretty cool, right? Because he's going to have really good pace. His defending is going to be higher to work with, but his base card stats for shooting and all that good stuff is also going to be higher too. So that's going to be pretty crazy to work with. It's kind of funny because this looks like a Foot Birthday little icon here. So that's going to be interesting to try out. What else we got here? So, yeah, so Pedri is one. We have a few things here. Eric Cantona, I've been told that apparently he's going to be unlockable in maybe moments, potentially. Because I think my boy Glasgow told me that he was, like, the way that I unlocked Peter Crouch, which, if I remember, was in moments. I think you could do the same thing with Cantona to try him out. So if that's going to be the case, obviously Cantona will be really, really sick to work with. Obviously a fantastic card to work with in the game. He has all the right stuff, and cards like this actually perform significantly better in this year's game than previous years because he's physical oriented, but in this year's game it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, you give this card out Hunter Chemistry style, he's incredible to work with. You know, he's still 1.8 million coins, still performs like a monster in game. The agility and balance, like, you notice, but it doesn't bother you. The card still performs like a monster. With the new card, I don't know, maybe they give him like a 5-star capability, and then you give him like a Hawk Chemistry style. I mean, the card is already formatted very nicely. I think in the future, you could actually give him like an engine, right? An engine Chemistry style, because of the base card stats for pace being higher, and then you just give him that dribbling boost and passing while working with good base card stats for shooting and physicality. That would be pretty nuts, to be fair. What else we got here? Jairzinho. This is going to be a full meta rats for sure. He's a rat because of this, right? So if you guys watch the review for Jairzinho, when I reviewed him during that time period, it's not this one, but I think it's another one. I think, which one was it, if I remember correctly? It might have been this one. Yes, it's this one, I think. Anyways, why is this card so good for the game? Because with a card like this, you know, when I tried him out, I gave him, I think it was like a Hawk Chemistry style or a Hunter. I can't remember exactly, right? But he has all the right things, right? He's got the high work rates. He's got pace. He's got shooting. He's got physicality. You don't really care too much about his dribbling in game, because his dribbling in game still works out well because of the fact that he's a 5'8" player. For him specifically, it works out well. Like, you notice it sometimes, you don't notice it enough to be like, oh, I don't want this card. It's impossible. Like, he's a card, like I mentioned in the review. He's a card that's going to last you such a long period of time in the game if you were to actually complete that SBC, because as a sided player, he has all the right things, right? So with Jairzinho, they're probably going to give him like a weak foot upgrade. If they give him the weak foot upgrade, that would obviously be pretty nuts to work with. What else we got here? Rivaldo. They got to do some stuff to Rivaldo, because apparently Rivaldo is an SBC. Yeah, for birthday SBC. So if he does end up getting an SBC card, yeah, they have to give him a better weak foot. They just have to, you know. It's a card that you have to give an engine, in my opinion. Like, you feel that dribbling for sure. You can't make him a lengthy from what the card is right now, but on an engine Chemistry style, if they at least give him a 4-star weak foot, then that's cool. But if because it's Foot Birthday, it would be cool if he had the 5-star skills 4-star weak foot as an SPC. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they give me loan cards for the SPCs, because you guys absolutely drained me for that player of the month, Mbappe. But I think by default, they know what types of SPCs to release. They don't release like crazy ones, because they know the card has like a high and average plus body type, you know. He's kind of strangely formatted to be like a decent card in game, but there's potential because base card stats being improved for pace, shooting, dribbling, and passing would definitely be a huge plus with a weak foot improvement because a 2-star weak foot is just very annoying to work with from time to time. Not great whatsoever. Rui Costa. Rui Costa is usually generic. I never actually ended up trying out the World Cup version of his card, which I think was this one. Rui Costa or Luis Figo? Am I tripping right now? Oh, I'm thinking of Luis Figo. Luis Figo is the one that had the World Cup card. That's the one. Yeah, I never tried out this card. Never. So Rui Costa is getting a card. That makes more sense. They have to do some crazy stuff to him too. He's really poorly formatted too. Like I have to be able to give him an engine as well. Bad work rates. Well, no, it's not bad work rates, but like this card is just not it. You know, whoever's buying this is weird to me. 79.5k makes sense. It's just not a usable card. So I'm very curious to see how they improve this one because they'll definitely give him like a weak foot or skill move improvement. With the way that this card is formatted, you give him a hunter, but the dribbling is not going to be high enough. Like he's an average body type player at 5'11". I don't think the dribbling will be high enough. Like it's going to be a situation where I feel like you got to give him like an engine and you just work with the base card stats for shooting being low. It just feels that way, you know? It feels that way. João Felix, that card will be really nice. I actually really enjoyed this version of his card, the Winter Wild card. Pretty funny that they're going to release a FUT birthday when this card still exists. You know, that's how you know that they're not original whatsoever. But with João Felix coming out as a FUT birthday, I mean, as the main selling points, they're probably going to change his work rates, and they're probably going to give him a 5-star weak foot so he could be one of the expensive cards in the market. Gonna definitely see if I can get his loan card at the very least. If I remember correctly, because I didn't use João Felix too much this year because I don't play regular FIFA too often. With João Felix, if I remember correctly, I think I liked this card a lot. Because I think for this year's version of FIFA, the medium work rate is perfectly fine. Like you don't really care too much about it. Obviously, high does still feel better, but the medium is perfectly fine. So that's obviously interesting too. I think that's gonna be the main things. I think it's just gonna be the work rates and then the weak foot improvement to make him one of the more expensive cards in the market for sure. So that'll definitely be an interesting one. You know, he has really cool traits too. He's got the outside foot shot, which is great, technical dribbler, all that good stuff. Maybe they give him a finesse shot trait. Who knows, right? Darwin Nunez, the Arch Trigger Merchants will definitely be very happy with that because Darwin is very good at doing the runs in behind the defense. This card has 4,600 likes on him. Yeah, what's interesting about this card is that he's not a lengthy, but you give him a hawk and he's pretty fast. You know, he's got some good running animations. Like when he gets past people, he gets past people. I think that with the future card, an engine again would be very nice, but maybe his base card stats are passing or his pace would probably be a little bit higher. So it's hard to say because I could see people giving a finisher as well, depending on how they actually improve the card. Maybe like a, nah, I don't think so. A Maestro? No, I don't think so. It's just it's a running merchant, right? And they're probably gonna make him like a 4-star minimum, I think, at the very least, which will make the card a little bit more usable for people to use, right? So what else we got here? So Puskás. I don't often see Puskás. Like you'll only see Puskás on someone's team if they actually end up packing him. And no, this card I actually do see a few times. This one I do see. Yeah, I do see this one a few times. Because he's packed sometimes. I don't think I've used Puskás this year. Yeah, I don't think I've used them yet. I don't think so. What do you give this card? Like a hawk, a hunter? Hunter would kind of make sense too because you give him perfect shooting with really good pace. I think the hunter is the one that people give him the most. Yeah, this card will be nice though because I think they'll give him like a weak foot upgrade at the very least to make him a minimum 4-star, but they could make him a 5-star, 4-star. Who knows? For birthday, they do some like pretty crazy upgrades. This is a massive W card. Obviously, he's Portuguese, and I do love my Portuguese players, but I'm very honest with you guys when it comes to performance of the cards in game. This card is still 509k because as a Portuguese person playing in the Premier League, that is the best Portuguese cam in the game, And like he just is. He has the right movements and everything. This card's disgusting. What's going to be crazy about the new one is that they will either give him a skill move or weak foot upgrade, and they'll obviously upgrade the pace on the card, and that'll be nuts, right? Being able to give him a hunter chemistry saw and still using him in that cam position. It's not even necessarily cam. Like I even show you guys sometimes when I'm using like a 3-4-2-1. If you have people that are good in the cam position playing the left wing, right wing area for those formations, that works out great as well, right? So with Bernardo Silva playing in that position, that could definitely be fantastic as well. George Best, which card did I review this year? George Best this year? I don't remember which one it was. It might have been this or the other one. It might have been this one. I remember using the card, and if I remember correctly, I remember liking him more than I thought he would, or I thought I would. I think that's what happened when I actually try him out. On a Hawk chemistry is always well formatted. You know, he's got some okay traits, technical dribbler, flair. Maybe they give him new traits. 5-star skills or 5-star weak foot's definitely going to happen for that. So that'll be pretty nuts as well. I'm going to give this card a Hawk chemistry style too. Thomas Muller in the game. That is only going to be usable if he is a lengthy. Let's see. Thomas Muller. Maybe not. It depends, man. Because this dribbling is really low. You know? Like, it makes you want to give him a finisher on just this one right here. Or an engine. Like, you got to give him an engine or something. This card is not usable. It's just not. It's just way too low. Way too low. Yeah, even during that time period, it just wasn't super ideal to use a card like that. So with the way that this looks like, I mean, on an engine, it would definitely be very nice too. The base card stats for shooting would be high, so it'd be usable in that way. But people don't really use the Bundesliga players that much. Koke, what does he have for work rates? Is Koke medium high in this game? Medium. That'll be an okay card. I mean, they have to change the work rate to make him interesting, I think. Yeah. I mean, you're definitely going to give him a shadow chemistry style as well. Boost the pace, boost the defense as much as possible as well. Would definitely make more sense for that. That could be an okay card. Gives you some pretty decent links to work with, but the work rates definitely needs to be changed. Zinchenko, that'll be a nice card. Zinchenko will be cool, actually. They'll probably make his dribbling really good. I remember this card being released as an SBC. 4,000 likes warranted, to be fair. This was in the beginning of the game, actually. Shadow chemistry style on him. Really poorly formatted pace. Like, they have to change that. That needs to be changed, like, drastically, because that is really poorly formatted pace. Especially in the fullback position, you kind of need them to be equal to each other, like the acceleration and the sprint speed, so that needs to happen. Dribbling-wise, the card was pretty nice because he's a lean body type player. And by the looks of what it could potentially be like, playing a card like this in a 3-back formation as your left mid could be okay. But obviously, if you're playing with some Arsenal players in your team, using him in the left back position would definitely be the most ideal for sure. Let's see here. Mateus is usually pretty decent. He's pretty decent to work with. Mateus, he just has like all the right stuff, right? Like, he's got the work rates, he's got the weak foot. You give him a shadow, he's got great pace, his defending is there. So they'll probably give him like a 4-star skill move upgrade because he's a 3-star right now. So maybe like a 4-star, 4-star, maybe like a 4-star, 5-star with a weak foot upgrade. That would be kind of nuts too, because 5-star weak foot's definitely a really big deal to work with nowadays. Ian Rush, not a card people use at all, to be fair. Is he an SBC? I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because Ian Rush is just not a card people use. This one is an engine for sure. I remember that for sure. Yeah, he is an interesting one. A skill move weak foot upgrade would make him more usable. To be fair, with upgrades, the card will be more usable with the upgrades on an engine. Because if he gets like at least a +4 in every area, +5, then it could be okay. But he needs that +4, +5. I think that's definitely going to be very vital for him for sure. Rush, Muller, Best, Lafont is a goalkeeper. Lafont, you know what? To be fair, I face Lafont sometimes. He's a little bit annoying from time to time. Emerson as a fullback on a shadow. Emerson. He has the inform card. Yeah, he needs a promo card for sure. So that's good that they're releasing him, actually. Because he has good base card stats for pace. That's actually, or not pace, physical. That's really good. Because physical stats being above 80s or above mid 80s area is definitely very nice on a shadow. So that's going to be a cool card to get as well. So W there. So this card is sick if he's, if I remember correctly, if he's still a medium high. Let's see. Oh, he is a medium high. Okay, so this card will be very good too. Yeah, if you're working with like some Bundesliga players, that'll be a sick card. So is one of those guys every year in FIFA where when he gets that medium high card that you can use in the CDM position, he's usually very solid, especially if you're building a Bundesliga team, because their options are not that crazy, you know? Coman's usually not that crazy either. But 81 base... excuse me. 81 base pace on a shadow could definitely be good. These cards are unusable. Even if it's 225k, it's just unusable. Like, the only way that you can use him is in the midfield position, but even still, he's high medium work rated for a card that is not really a high medium work rated type of card. Like, you don't want him to be high medium type of situation. You know what I mean? It's a weird one for him, in my opinion. So that definitely needs a massive improvement for that card. Marquinhos, that's going to be a great card for sure, especially with base 83 for pace. He's just a well formatted card, right? Like he's got lower acceleration but higher sprint speed. On this card, you want to give him a shadow, or I guess it depends. This card is still expensive because on an anchor, that pace is still too low. I don't know why this card is so expensive. I guess because of PSG Brazilian links. That's kind of crazy, man. He shouldn't be that much. Unless his animation choices are nuts in game, but even still, the pace is kind of low for the price and stuff. Kane record breaker from the England stuff would be pretty cool. Chuckways would probably be a gameplay objective. It's coming for birthday team 1 pack. Probably. Chuckways, he had that like 1 year where he was a gameplay objective and he was actually pretty sick. I enjoyed using him a lot. This card existed too? Did I use this card this year? I don't remember if I did. Maybe I did. This one's poorly formatted though. Potential with the other one's not too bad though, because on a marksman, he could be okay. Yeah, with base card stats and pace being improved, he's a high-low work rated card. They have to give him the weak foot improvement. That's not too bad. And then that is pretty much it, I think. Let's see the rest of this. Mateus, Ricochet, Rivaldo, George Best, Puskás. Rivaldo, Puskás, Bernardo Silva, João Felix, Jairzinho. So I'm sure that there's a few more cards to see in regards to the foot birthday cards that are coming out, but that's from the ones that we saw so far. Honestly, this promo is usually like really, really good. I think they've started to do this swap objective stuff. I don't know if there's a specific player that I'm going to have to unlock for a player review, but I'll be taking a look at that afterwards. But for now, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.